transgender kids are 15 times more likely to kill themselves. So whether it's across our schooling system or across our health system, supporting those kids and supporting those families should be a priority because it's the right thing to do. What's not right is this ongoing campaign to tear down programs that are about strengthening kids' resilience. It's about preventing bullying. It's about protecting kids against future harm. That's what needs to stop.
I'm doing this in reply to what the Premier, Jacinta Allan, has said on this tweet. And I find it extraordinary. Like she's going 15%. First off, she ignores the study that the journalist talks about, which is why they're changing their mind in the UK. She just fobs that off and she's just going 15% of trans kids kill themselves and we have to protect them. Well, as far as I know, the way they kill themselves, when they kill themselves, is after they transition. And so I'm going to tell you what I think is happening with this. Children crave attention. That's what they crave. And what's on offer to them now is a story where they can get lots of attention. And this is how it works. Basically, they're this lonely kid that, they're basically, they're just not getting the attention that the popular kids get. And then they suddenly go, do you know what? I think I'm the opposite gender. I think I'm a boy, or I think I'm a girl. But let's talk about the girls. And so suddenly the teachers come along and go, well, maybe you're trans. Now, I've interviewed Myanna, who transitioned 30 years ago, and she felt that in order to be happy that she needed to transition into being a trans woman. But it took a year, and every week she had to have a meeting with a psychologist where the psychologist was basically going, are you sure? Are you sure? Because there's no way back. This is a really difficult journey. Are you sure? So as a society then, we were caring for Myanna until finally she got there, and now she is who she is and she's happy with it. And we wish her the best too. This is her journey. But with these young kids now, and we're talking 5 years old they're talking about, this is what we're doing. We're offering them a story. Oh, you might be trans. You might be something. Oh, I'm trans. I'm something that's different. That warrants some attention. Then they're getting attention, whether they're doing it online, whether their parents who are pro-trans are pushing it, suddenly they're getting more attention. But in order to keep this attention that they're now getting, which they crave, they have to continue the story. Now, in the past, we would say, no, you can't continue the story. You're too young. You're just going to have to wait. But now, no, now the health system or whatever it is gets behind them and says, yeah, let's tell the story. So they start beta blockers. They start dressing like the opposite sex. And then they move as they keep craving the attention and keep sort of building a persona on this attention. They're no longer who they are. Now they're this trans kid. And then they finally go through the operation. And just look at any detransitioner to hear the horrors of that. But they finally go through this operation. And so for a girl, they lose their breasts. And if they get pregnant later, I heard from this woman saying they get pregnant later, they're breastfeeding, or they want to breastfeed, they can't, but their chest still fills up with milk, which is incredibly painful. But let's get past all that. Basically, they finally do it. They go the whole hog. They're basically disfigured, and they're through. They're absolutely through. They've gone the whole hog. The story is finally complete. And here's what happens. The story is complete. They are now, in the government's eyes, the other gender. And because the story is complete, their audience goes looking for another story. And suddenly they don't have all the attention they craved. All they have is a mutilated body. And they can no longer get back to who they actually were. And because they were so young, they didn't understand what they were doing until they reach this point. And as they progress, they realize how deeply they've been betrayed by us, the adults. And so they kill themselves en masse. So here's Jacinta Allan going, we've got to protect them, we've got to protect them. Well, if you want to protect them, you should have a years long or 2 years long of psychological training with a thing that they can't actually start to transitioning physically until they're 18 or even 21. You know what I mean? They can wear dresses, they can put on lipstick, do whatever you want, but not the actual dismemberment, if you want, you know. But no, we don't do that. Our premier, who looks like she's constipated in this video, is just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and actually outlawing you. So if you're the parent and you go, I don't want the kid to transition, you'll be seen as a bad parent. This is incredibly dangerous territory. And I've got nothing against trans. If that's what floats your boat, it's your journey, brother or sister, you go for it. But we can't do this to our children. There is something insane at the moment with all this sex education aimed at kids, all these books aimed at kids. There's something driving us that we want to steal our children of the one thing they can never get back and the one thing that we crave, the innocence of childhood. There's 8 billion people on the planet. We don't need constant lessons on how to fuck. We figured it out. And you should let the kids go through, play doctors and nurses or do whatever they want to that you did. And we're also stealing from them the innocent journey of discovering your own sexuality for yourself, which you do at your own pace. Some boys don't lose their virginity until mid-20s. Some lose it at 14. You know what I mean? Everyone's different. And then, of course, you've got the gay children, you know, the boys that are born gay, the girls that are born lesbian. And now, instead of just being a natural lesbian or a natural gay, they're basically being taught, no, you're not gay, you're just meant to be a woman. No, you're not a lesbian, you're just meant to be a man. Bullshit. As Kate says, or Miss Lister, they were born that way. So I think I'm calling this out now, not that I'm trans, but we are doing, this is not just crazy, this is not just insane, this now is evil. Evil. We're having full-term abortions where apparently there's been offered $4,500 to have an abortion, a late-term abortion, and the child, if it survives, is left there to die without any care from us. That's evil. And now they're going in teaching 5-year-old kids, teachers pushing 5-year-old kids that maybe you've got to start this transitioning period and start transitioning. That is not caring for the child. That is fucking with the child. That is evil. We're in evil times. And the scariest thing is I don't think the people pushing it are evil. I think they're good people, but they're just fucked in the head and they can't see it. And the price of their blindness is the suicides of our young detransitioners. I wish we could have a bigger conversation. I'd get on ABC and have real solid debates where the whole country could listen to, rather than having this ideology shoved down our throats and endangering our children. You are out of order, Jacinta. You are completely out of order. In fact, I'd go as far to say, well, I'll let other people add what I won't say here. But this is evil.